Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, Izzy here. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. And for those of you who are new, I hope you enjoyed this channel and this video. Now today I wanted to make this quick video to speak with you guys about something that has been floating around the Call of Duty universe for a few days now. And no, it's not about the upcoming Call of Duty, it's not about Black Ops 4, but actually, oddly enough, we as a community are already 2 steps ahead. We're 2 years ahead of everybody else thinking about Call of Duty 2019. Because if you didn't know already, there is some big news surrounding not this year, but next year's coming Call of Duty. And word on the street is that Call of Duty 2019 is actually going to be Modern Warfare 4, which will of course be developed by Infinity Ward. Oh yeah, I know, and you're going to groan, but listen to this. If you weren't aware, Infinity Ward has been bringing in some older guys, some veterans, from their old Infinity Ward studio back in to develop this project. So there's going to be some old school guys from Infinity Ward that are back at the studio working on this new supposed Modern Warfare title, right? And that's pretty damn cool. That got me a little bit excited, because if you guys didn't know, back in 2010, the whole development team at Infinity Ward that made Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, they all just kind of left Activision. They left Infinity Ward and they formed Respawn Entertainment, which is obviously responsible for the Titanfall games. But I guess in the past few years, they've been kind of recruiting some of these Respawn guys that used to work at Infinity Ward when they were making these great Call of Duty games, and they're there now working on, presumably, Modern Warfare 4, which I think is pretty cool. And I've already said that, but, you know, whatever. Just thought I'd clarify. But again, yeah, this sounds like really, really good news if you're an old school Call of Duty fan. Because if you remember, these guys were responsible for creating so much of the innovations that we know and love in Call of Duty today, like the 100 points per kill, 2 attachments, multiple attachments actually on weapons, and all sorts of other cool things. Hell, you can even argue that while these guys were at Respawn, they even innovated Call of Duty from there too, with the advanced movement, which is not all that popular, but still, they were at the forefront of the innovation, so they have their minds set on innovation, which is not really a bad thing. Now, despite all this awesome news, there is still a very deep and rumbling worry, or fear, inside me right now. And it's not really coming from a place of personal preference. It's not coming from a fear that I won't enjoy the game, because I know for a fact that I will. I mean, let's face it, I'm going to enjoy Black Ops 4, and I'm also really going to enjoy Modern Warfare 4. But my fear is really this. Take a look.
Right off the rip, boots on the ground is back, but this really does feel like a classic Call of Duty. Everything felt right, and I was just so happy. I was physically smiling playing a video game just because it felt great. That classic Call of Duty feel that we've all grown to love, it just felt fantastic. As soon as I shot my first person, I loved it.
Right off the bat, I'm just gonna say that I think this is probably the best Call of Duty that I've played in a really long time. But I will tell you one thing, everybody that was playing the game in that room was extremely hyped. There was just so much excitement in that room. The game feels so good, okay?
Oh, baby! Oh, baby, let's go!
I can't believe it, man. COD's back. I'm so happy to see this. Like, it's really almost an emotional moment as a longtime Call of Duty player to see true blood and grit and dirt and just... There's something about it, man. Like, there's no spacesuit or space helmet or jetpack or any other bullshit. Like, it's pure Call of Duty. It's what we all grew up loving to play and enjoying, and just like, I hope that this takes us back on top. I truly, truly do. I can't believe it, man. COD's back. COD's back. COD's back. COD's back.
6 months later.
The Call of Duty community getting all hyped and thrilled that they were listened to and that we got the setting that we wanted and we got all, it feels like old Call of Duty. It feels like old Call of Duty. To now, it's just crickets, right? It's dead. No one wants to play this game. No one who means anything plays this game anymore, except me. I still love World War II. Take that to the grave. I love it. All right, because unlike most of the community, when I get what I ask for, I play it through. I enjoy it, right?
But Izzy, they didn't innovate on anything. The vision systems were not good enough. They changed too much of the stuff. The streaks are weak. They changed a lot of stuff that wasn't original Call of Duty. It wasn't real Call of Duty.
Okay, well, have you played it now? They kind of redid a whole lot of stuff.
No, I'm playing Fortnite.
And that really is what I'm worried about here. The Call of Duty community getting exactly what it wants, only to say, yeah, this is kind of boring. This is actually really boring. And the fact that some loyal members of the community would actually think this way is really indicative of the changing times. And I think Drifter made a really good point in his very first Black Ops 4 multiplayer gameplay. He made a great point. Listen.
Yeah, I'm aware it's not a traditional Call of Duty game. I'm aware that a lot of people really didn't want specialists. They wanted something more in line with Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3. But the problem is, it's not 2010 or 2008 anymore. That was almost a decade ago. And if Modern Warfare 2 were released today with exactly the same stuff, it would not be the hit that you think it was.
And as much as we like the old way of playing games, it just might not be sustainable because, like he said, it's not 2008 anymore. That simple mechanic, although great, is really not going to be enough to sustain new players and even old ones. Like, they'll get bored with it. Look at World War II. I mean, World War II is a fantastic example of what happens if we try to give the community exactly what they want. And I know you're going to say, well, it wasn't finished at launch and all this other stuff, but ultimately, we got exactly what we wanted. And it was kind of boring. But I still enjoy the game. Don't get me wrong, I love making videos on it, I love playing the game. But to others, they're like, oh, why do you still play that game? You know, it's dead. Why do you still play it? Well, because I like it. I got what I asked for, and I stuck with it. So that's really what worries me about actually listening to the community, because honestly, I don't think the community really knows what they even want. They want a new game, but they want an old game at the same time. So when you try to make an old game a new game, you end up innovating, and then that ends up pissing some people off, and it's just a mess. And I actually feel for some of the developers because they have no idea what the hell to do with us. You know, like, who knows? Black Ops 4 could be amazing. It could be amazing, and we're not giving it a chance because it's too different. But honestly, it might just be exactly what this franchise needs. And I'm also really worried to see that Modern Warfare 4 is going to be the next title, because I feel that they may not do enough to keep players engaged. I mean, I don't know. This is just kind of speculation because, again, if we look at World War II, I think it is a perfect indication of what can happen if the community gets exactly what they want. Right? We don't want no more jetpacks. We don't want no more flying monkeys. We don't want no more laser guns. This ain't Star Wars. You know, like, well, why not just take all that crap away and we'll go into World War II? Yeah, that sounds better. Okay, well, you got it, and, well, what do you think? I'm playing Fortnite! And it's just sad. It's so sad. Because if there was anything that I think would have cured our hatred for this futuristic warfare and lasers and jumping, it would be a nice, gritty, gory World War II game, but I don't know. There's just nobody home. Nobody seems to care about it. Right? And even at the reveal you guys saw in that clip, people were hyped for the game. Oh, everyone loves it, and oh, it's so great, and then, you know, you get 2 months into the game, and then you're just like, meh. And I think that draws perfectly to Drifter's point, which is, it's not 2008 anymore, which kind of makes me sad because I'm a veteran, and I've been playing ever since 2008, but, you know, it's a sad day. It's a very sad day, and tough for the developers as well. And I think we as a community really need to kind of narrow down exactly what we want from these guys, because they're working, you know, day and night trying to figure out what the hell is going to make us happy and trying not to piss us off, which is becoming a lot easier than it used to be. But yeah, I'd probably say that's my main concern, right? When they say that they're bringing in the old guns, the old school guys that have made just fantastic Call of Duty games back in the day, but they bring in the old guys and we get more of the same, then people get bored and, you know, all that. Even though people are saying, well, we've been devoid of a modern title for the past, you know, few years, but we've been without a World War II shooter for, you know, almost a decade before this point, and it didn't seem to matter. So that really, I mean, just the parallels between World War II and Modern Warfare 4 are just crazy right now, and I'm seeing it, and I'm kind of worrying about it, you know? Like, these two situations are set up so similarly that it's kind of crazy. And I'm just here hoping that Modern Warfare 4 doesn't get the same treatment as World War II. Now, I understand, of course, you guys have said this before, you get upset about it, but the game wasn't finished at launch. I understand that. There was problems with the game. But at the same time, you know, if you can really, you know, if the setting meant that much to you, it wouldn't have mattered. And it really didn't matter for me because I wasn't really a big fan of the futuristic setting, but, you know, that's just me. Yeah, anyway, that ultimately is my biggest concern. Because what I see happening is a lot of the attention gets shifted from Black Ops 4 as being the, quote, savior of the franchise, and now that title goes to Modern Warfare 4. So everybody's, all the community's hopes and, and expectations, they all get diverted from Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare 4, which I can kind of see as a positive for Black Ops 4, because now we don't really care. Right, where a lot of the pressure is put on Modern Warfare 4, so we might actually have a little more time to enjoy Black Ops 4 for what it is, and not have this super stressful and high importance label slapped onto it, and we can just enjoy it for what it is, right? Because when you remove all the expectation from Black Ops 4, I think we'd see a lot less dislikes, if I'm honest. I think a lot of the reason why people were a little bit salty about the reveal was that this game is supposed to save Call of Duty. Oh, no, no, no. Well, you know, I think you take that away, you give it to Modern Warfare 4, obviously, because everyone's going to expect that to just perform like crazy. And now Black Ops 4 is left just as a regular Call of Duty game, and I think that might actually serve it pretty damn well, and give it a chance to be the best game that it can be, and maybe indirectly save the franchise. Who knows? You see, but I guess what I'm getting at here is that whatever the community shifts its attention to, it usually just ends up being terrible. Honestly, it does. So what I want to say before we get into Modern Warfare 4 is kind of peel back your expectation, right? Don't expect this thing to be the greatest thing ever, because guess what? Chances are you're going to be let down because something isn't going to be just to your liking. I mean, again, we go back to World War II. Well, they didn't give us create a class, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, but it's like, we got ultimately what we wanted. We got away from lasers, we got the gritty, gory side of Call of Duty that it used to be, but, you know, we're still not satisfied. And now they've changed everything and nobody cares now. But, you know, just don't get your hopes up, okay? Because chances are something is not going to be just the way that you want it, and you might find yourself disappointed in a few aspects of the game. So I'd say just run into this whole thing without any expectations and just basically enjoy Call of Duty for what it is, or what it was. Because, let's face it, Call of Duty for us is basically just, well, it's a fond memory. It's a game that we play year in and year out in attempts to kind of revive our childhood, to get away from the new changes that are happening in our lives each and every day as we get older and we get further and further from when we were 16 or even 10 years old. We get further and further away from that point, and it's kind of scary. And I think that we all see Call of Duty as a way to kind of hang on to that. And, you know, I'm guilty of that too. Because, I mean, let's face it, we all miss the days when we can just hop on after school and we have our friends waiting for us online, and, you know, we're all trying to go for the same thing. We're trying to get some wins or get some nukes or get a new camo or just prestige, and it was just tons of fun. But what we have to understand is that those friends are maybe off doing different things. They're playing different games, or they've just completely abandoned gaming altogether. And now we're here just stuck hanging on to something that just might not happen again. And I think this is exactly why. Once we got what we wanted with World War II, we didn't care anymore, because we realized all these components are right in front of us, but we were missing the most important one. And now Call of Duty just feels empty to some of us. So now we try to find different games, like Fortnite, that can kind of bring us back to that state. And I think Fortnite is a perfect example because it is actually able to bring a lot of people back into gaming that haven't played in a long time. So I think that's why you see Fortnite as being as popular as it is because people are playing with their friends again, and that's probably the most important component into what makes a game great. Now, this is not to say that Modern Warfare 4 couldn't do this. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. All I know is that a lot of our expectations are really let down because we don't see Call of Duty as what it used to be. We don't see these new futuristic shooters and go, oh yeah, that reminds me of good times that I had with my friends. But it's like, some of these new changes could be the things that bring your friends back to the game and just make it a whole ton of fun. We don't know. So what I'm saying right now is basically just don't go into this game with crazy expectations and these demands. Just go into it with little or no expectation and just enjoy Call of Duty for what it is. Because I'm sure eventually something is going to strike a chord with us and it's just going to be amazing. And Modern Warfare 4 could be it. I don't know. But what I'm going to say is just don't jump the gun, right? Don't get too upset when you see something that you don't like immediately, because you never know. You just never know. But yeah, I'm really just bringing all this up to kind of express my concern with this new Call of Duty coming out, that it might turn out like World War II, and I really hope it doesn't, okay? I hope it's received well by all of us, because if it is, that way we can have more fun. But I think the only way to be able to do that is really to just eliminate a lot of the expectations. This is going to bring back my childhood. This is going to save Call of Duty. Take that away and just accept it for what it is and enjoy it for what it is. Alright? But anyway, guys, that should do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I hope you guys are a little bit excited, but not too excited about this news or this kind of rumor floating around. I want everyone to get excited, but again, let's not hate, all right? Let's kind of have a little bit of skepticism, and also let's just take away some of those expectations. All right, let's have fun gaming again, guys. We don't have to hate everything. But anyway, y'all, I'm out. Have an awesome rest of your day. Take it easy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Take me.